The African Cup of Nations presents a fascinating logistical puzzle for Manchester United this season, one that carries potentially significant consequences for their Premier League campaign. Sure, the recent FIFA ruling, as reported by various outlets, including the Manchester Evening News and Daily Mail, has created what can only be described as a grey area of interpretation. Originally mandating that players depart for the tournament by early December, the governing body has apparently granted a reprieve, allowing clubs to retain their African internationals until approximately December 15th. On the surface, this appears straightforward. Yet when applied to United's specific fixture schedule, ambiguity emerges. United face Bournemouth on Monday, December 15th, an evening kickoff. The ruling suggests players must report for international duty by that date. But does by December 15th mean they can participate in a match that concludes at 10 p.m. that evening? The practical logistics become murky. Could Andre Onana, Brian Brobby, and Amad Diallo realistically finish a Premier League encounter and immediately transfer to international camp? The timeline seems implausible. This isn't mere administrative pedantry, it's a competitive consideration. Bournemouth represent a challenging opponent, and United will need their strongest available side. These three players have contributed meaningfully this season. Their potential absence isn't about sentiment, it's about tangible points that could determine European qualification come May. Every point in the Premier League carries amplified weight in what appears to be another tightly contested season. One can easily envision a scenario where United finish 1 or 2 points adrift of a Champions League place, with analysts looking back at this Bournemouth fixture as a pivotal moment. The precedent of Andre Onana's experience last tournament offers little cleansable clarity. His situation was unique. A goalkeeper who had retired from international duty, with special arrangements made between club and country. His subsequent travel nightmares, diverted flights, cross-country drives, and eventual benching by Cameroon serve more as a cautionary tale than a blueprint. It highlighted everything that can go wrong with such tight turnarounds. FIFA's current attempt at providing clearer direction is welcome, but the specific application to Monday night fixtures leaves room for interpretation that managers, players, and fans would prefer didn't exist. Ukar. Shifting from immediate concerns to future planning, the transfer landscape presents its own intriguing narrative. The emergence of Elliot Anderson as a reported target for multiple top clubs, including Manchester City, underscores the competitive nature of Premier League recruitment. Anderson's performances for Nottingham Forest have been a consistent bright spot, showcasing a technical proficiency and tactical intelligence that translates seamlessly to higher-level football. His contract situation, extending to 2029, places Forest in a position of significant strength. They are under no financial pressure to sell, which in turn means any suitor must be prepared for a substantial financial outlay, likely exceeding figures that would make most clubs pause. Manchester City's alleged interest isn't merely speculative tabloid fodder, it's strategically plausible. They possess the financial capability and have demonstrated willingness to invest heavily in Premier League proven talent, as evidenced by the Jack Grealish transfer. Anderson's profile, dynamic, creative, and already acclimated to the league's intensity, fits their model perfectly. For United, this creates a dilemma. Anderson represents precisely the type of midfield reinforcement that could address creative shortcomings. His audition against United earlier this season was notably impressive, a performance that undoubtedly lodged in the memory of scouts and analysts. Yet, competing with City in a direct financial battle is a daunting proposition. Their economic power and current sporting project present a compelling lure. This scenario often triggers a familiar transfer window dance, simultaneous links to multiple players in similar positions. The concurrent murmurs about Adam Wharton and other midfielders could represent genuine parallel assessments, or perhaps the strategic manoeuvring of agents aiming to stimulate a bidding environment. Regardless, Anderson's stock is undeniably rising. Foots! Nottingham Forest, while ambitious, historically operate within a model that considers substantial offers for their assets. A bid approaching or exceeding 9 figures would test their resolve. Anderson's talent suggests he could elevate almost any Premier League midfield. His skill set is both adaptable and impactful. The question for United isn't merely about desire, but about capacity and priority in a market where their crosstown rivals hold considerable advantages. Sure. Within the current squad, the development of young talents remains a storyline of equal importance. Lenny Yoro's recent experiences offer a microcosm of the demands placed on elite young defenders. A couple of challenging performances, such as the recent fixture at Selhurst Park, have prompted external scrutiny. This is the nature of football at this level. Every action is magnified. Yet, it's crucial to maintain perspective. Yoro is a player of immense talent who chose United amid significant interest from clubs like Real Madrid. His early contributions, including a commendable performance in the Europa League final where he stood out amidst collective disappointment, demonstrated his foundational quo. All defenders, regardless of pedigree, endure difficult periods. The greats are distinguished not by avoiding mistakes, but by their response to them. Yoro's social media reflection, citing proverbs about rising after falls, indicates a resilient mindset. This mental fortitude, coupled with his technical attributes, suggests these moments are part of his growth trajectory rather than indicators of limitation. The support from senior teammates like Mason Mount and club legends reinforces the protective environment United can provide. The availability of returning defenders like Lisandro Martinez offers the manager optionality, the chance to temporarily shield Yoro from the spotlight, without diminishing his long-term importance. His talent remains undeniable. Patience and support are the rational responses to temporary dips in form. The career trajectory of Timothy Fosu Mensah serves as a sobering reminder of football's unpredictability. Once a highly touted academy graduate who impressed under Louis van Gaal with his athleticism and versatility, his path diverged from its promising start. Injuries and managerial changes disrupted his momentum. His recollections of stricter academy eras, black boots mandates, disciplinary structures highlight how club cultures evolve. That a player of his apparent capability is now, at 27, seeking a new club underscores how fine the margins are between establishment and obscurity at the highest level. His story isn't one of wasted talent, but rather of a career affected by factors often beyond a player's control: timing, fit, and physical fortune. In contrast, Scott McTominay's post-United career exemplifies a different kind of trajectory. His recognition as Syrian Player of the Year and presence on Ballon d'Or shortlist following Sarri, a success with Napoli, represents a remarkable resurgence. The debate around his departure from United often centres on comparative value, was retaining him preferable to acquiring Sofyan Amrabat. Amrabat. In retrospect, McTominay has flourished in an environment where he features consistently as a central figure. His skill set, perhaps constrained by specific tactical demands at United, has found fuller expression elsewhere. This isn't necessarily an indictment of United's decision-making. Players sometimes require a different context to maximise their abilities. McTominay's prime years are being spent as a key performer for a top Italian side, a scenario that may not have materialised had he remained in a more rotational role. These interconnected narratives, immediate tournament logistics, future transfer battles, youth development challenges, and career pathway reflections collectively sketch the modern reality of managing a club like Manchester United. Each story exists within a broader ecosystem of planning, adaptation, and decision-making. The AFCON situation tests administrative foresight and competitive planning. The Anderson speculation highlights the intense competition for premium talent in a financially stratified league. Yoro's experiences illustrate the psychological as well as technical development required of young stars. The contrasting tales of Fosu Mensah and McTominay remind us that career paths are rarely linear and are influenced by a complex matrix of opportunity, health, and tactical fit. What binds these threads together is the constant balancing act between present needs and future ambitions. Every point in December matters for season objectives. Every transfer decision shapes the squad 4 years ahead. Every young player's development phase must be managed without compromising results. This is the perpetual challenge. The coming weeks will provide clarity on the AFCON front as FIFA and clubs finalise arrangements. However, The summer will reveal the seriousness of interest in players like Elliot Anderson and United's capacity to compete in that market. Euro will have opportunities to reaffirm his quality. Each of these stories contributes to the larger narrative of a club navigating the relentless demands of elite football, where short-term pragmatism and long-term vision must continuously align.